as you evolve from the level you're at to the next level, there's going to be a lot of people that want to / think they can give you effective feedback. And unfortunately, that is probably less true than we like to think.
Feedback is absolutely critical to see where you're doing well and where you're not. And it's very hard to find accurate feedback and not let it mess with your head.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2207, whose feedback can you actually trust? I will never forget this. We used to do a live podcast every week, and the team would be on we did it in our Facebook group, and the team would watch it in the Facebook group. And on the ride home from the studio, this is back when we had the studio, we would do a team call. And we would do most important win, most important improvement. And every time, so the most important win, most important improvement was from Alan and from myself. What did we do well? What did we not do well? What can we improve on? Every single time I got shining endorsements. Kevin, you are the greatest speaker there's ever been. You're incredible. I don't think you could do any better if you tried. 9.5 out of 10, almost every time. And Alan would get the feedback of, you didn't pause enough. You said too much. You didn't explain this well. You were twiddling your thumbs. 5 out of 10. And that was every single time. To the point where we had a conversation behind the scenes and said, and again, if you were on the team at this point, I'm not talking trash, but we've talked about this behind the scenes, but we got to a certain level and said, look, that is not useful anymore.
Yeah.
One, the team thinks you want them to be hard on you, and they don't really know what to say other than the fact that you sucked. And I feel like the team likes me, and they know I don't have as much.
How did you know that? For all I know, they're actually assessing what they really think. But that's based on me projecting their awareness.
It's a pre-frame. If somebody comes to you, think of it this way. Now, not the feedback you would give, but just try to imagine a world where you could look down. Somebody that you know is insecure about something comes to you. Okay, great example. Somebody you care about deeply is nervous to start a podcast. They start a podcast and they come to you and say, hey, would you mind listening to the first episode? I'm nervous to release it. I'd really like an extra pair of ears on it, okay? You're not going to listen to it and say, excuse me, that is the ripest pile of shit I've heard my entire life. And honestly, the world will be a worse place if you release that podcast episode. You're most likely
don't release it would have been just fine,
right? You're most likely going to pour into them and say, "Awesome, strong work on getting outside of your comfort zone. Most important win, you did that. You added some value. Most important improvement, you said more than maybe is constructive in the future."
Yeah, fair. Oh, okay.
Imagine somebody like you who is like, give me the truth, give me the feedback. People are literally looking for mistakes in order to give you feedback because they know you don't want to hear about the good necessarily.
Whoa.
That's why, as a high performer,
that's useless to me.
I know. So,
but it also creates this distortion, though. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I also want to share this. Do you remember when we had the team on the podcast way back? Mm-hmm. That was really big for me because I was like, oh, you guys are bad at this. Like, that was big for me. And I know that and I'm not trying to, again, let me provide context. For their first time live on a show, I mean, we had a lot of listeners. Like, that's jumping right in the ocean.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I get it.
Yep.
But I remember thinking after that, like, oh, we're amazing at this. But I never get that perspective because everyone's always giving me where I can improve. So I never get I very rarely get any compliments whatsoever, actually.
I think it's because people know you don't want it.
Yeah,
or they think you don't need it.
Or both, yeah.
Or both. This has always been a challenging. I won't say this has always been. I'll never forget. I had a friend who I don't speak with anymore. Unfortunately, I do miss this person. I remember they said, well, I'm here for you if you ever need anything. Like, I'm always here to support you. It's like, with love and as much humility as possible, there isn't that much you can support me in.
Yeah.
You don't know that much.
Take that deeper. Yeah, okay. You don't know that much.
In the struggles that I'm having, this is going to sound super negative. The struggles I'm having are by choice. The struggles you are having are because you don't know how to fix them. I cannot imagine a world where you can help me fix mine. My struggles are by design in a lot of ways, which again, fucking privilege to have. How you haven't done this? How would you even know what to do? I feel like it would be arrogant of me to expect somebody to have an answer for many of the problems I have without the experience of creating those problems in the first place.
We talked on the last episode about an interview I did with Coach Michael Burt on Business Growth University. And I got some feedback on that episode that was not negative. The people who gave me feedback were trying to help. But they said, like, you weren't fully you. And you could have been a little more you. And you behind the scenes said, Alan, they've never done a fucking interview before.
I thought you did great.
I appreciate that. I really do. And you told me this is what actually helped. You said, Alan, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a little piece of me that when I watched it, I said, is he a better interviewer than me? That's the shit I need to hear. Now, one thing that I've learned, and again, better late than never, the truth is not what people are sharing with you. Let me explain. There's layers of truth. Because context matters. If I'm in a bodybuilding show competing, you're going to be looking at, well, you're a little fat. Your body fat percentage is too high. But if I was on the beach, it would be like, holy shit, man. You're fucking jacked. Like, you're in great shape. And then, so everything is contextual. So when Kevin called me fat and you're going to lose your fucking show, I was in better shape than 99.9% of all people. But it doesn't matter because the 0.1% are going to beat me on stage.
That's who's going to be there. Yeah, those are the people that are going to be there.
Those are the people that are going to be there. They were there. They were definitely there. They were there. And so all feedback needs to be taken with as data. This is hopefully a metaphor that will land, and this is for me as well. My Tesla has FSD, full self-driving. You basically just sit there and it makes sure that you're supervisor mode. It's unbelievable. It's really good tech. But I'm watching the screen and there's 9 cameras in this thing. So there's 1 in the car, there's 3 in the front, there's 2 in each door, and then there's 1 in the back. I'm looking on the screen. There's a big screen right in front that you watch that shows a a digital rendition of what it sees. And I use this as a metaphor. When I drive into my garage, it thinks it's a Mack truck, when in reality, it's my garage. So I'm always watching. So if cyclists are going by or someone's walking on the sidewalk, like earlier today, I'm looking to see if it notices it. It'll show 2 cyclists going by and it'll show someone walking on the sidewalk. I want to see if it thinks it's a squirrel or if it thinks it's a Mack truck. I want to see how accurate this thing is, right? Because I'm studying it. And then every time you hit the brake and stop the self-driving, it asks for feedback of, hey, just so we can get better, like, what was it? Was it a bird that was not a bird? Like, what happened? Was it a pothole? Like, what's the deal? It's not that good at avoiding potholes, which is annoying. But anyways, yet. If I went back to the first iPhone, it's hot garbage. Did I send you the video of the iPhone 4 with the very first FaceTime on stage?
No, I don't think so.
Damn, I got to. I sent it to Emilia. I should send it to you. It's crazy how bad this phone was.
I believe it.
Steve Jobs was on stage. He's like, I'm going to FaceTime for the very first time on stage. It was like, oh my God, this is awful, right? But everyone claps. Oh my God. That was before FaceTime was a thing. Way before Zoom, way before. It's crazy. So the same with this tech. The same with us. Why? You cannot improve without feedback. But if you get misinformation, you improve poorly. People say the customer is always right. Bullshit. The customer, do you know how many people have come to us and said, hey, you really shouldn't do that? And honestly, remember the person who said, you guys need to interview more regular people? It's like, you're not a podcaster, brother. I appreciate your feedback, but we got to take that with a grain of salt. So it's been really hard for me because my goal is to improve, and I know everyone knows that. But I said this to the team recently. I said, if it's not your area of expertise, don't give me feedback. And I think this is a blind spot for me, brother, because how do I not come off like a dick with this? Okay. I have some faceted understanding of the world. Okay. There's not a lot about success and fulfillment and achievement and the human condition and psychology and neuroscience and there's not a lot that I don't understand to an extent where I can give you accurate feedback. Like if you were to ask me for feedback about something, I can't fix your car, but when it comes to you and your life, like there's very little that I can't add value. And that's my life. That's what I've studied my entire life. I think that I thought other people knew more than they did, to be honest. And I think that's why I would ask for feedback. It's like, oh, you actually don't know anything about this.
Well, that's the problem is very rarely is somebody to say, honestly, I don't think I can add value to that. Very rarely.
Why not? That's exactly what I would say. I can't help you with your car. I don't know shit. Who cares?
Because when this, and again, I'm fleshing this out in real time, so we'll see where it goes. I think one of the reasons people like giving feedback is because it gives them the opportunity to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. What is the word I'm looking for? Nice things give you, people look at you a certain way.
Perception.
Not perception.
Status?
Significance. For some reason, I thought it started with an A. If I say something to you and it changes the way you think about you, that is the deepest level of significance I can get. One of.
Whoa.
I think people get, so when somebody asks for feedback, even if they don't have it, they're going to try to give it because it makes them feel really good about them. I'm convinced one of the reasons people give feedback is not for you, it's for them. For sure. Because if you come to me and say, hey brother, what did you think of the way I did that? It takes a really deep level of self-awareness and self-belief and all of that stuff, probably just self-understanding, to say, honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know enough about the thing that you did to give you any level of feedback. I thought it was good, but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've never done it before. I have no idea. That.
Yeah, this is very depressing.
That's my thesis. That's my thesis.
Oh, I think it's probably accurate. Yeah.
That's my thesis. I found this the other day. I was, what was I doing? I think I was looking for my Facebook memory and then I saw somebody and I was like, oh my goodness, I had a very interesting interaction with them like 10 years ago. Somebody that we went to high school with saw me at the gym. Mm-hmm. They messaged me and said, hey, I know you're super into fitness. Can I get some advice? And I was like, yeah, what do you got? Sure. And they essentially were like, I have a wedding in 7 days and I need to look as good as possible. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. I got nothing for you. I got almost nothing for you. But instead of saying like, here's 5 things you can do that are going to change your life over the next 7 days, I was very honest about the fact that almost nothing is going to change in the next 7 days. If you eat less and you try to avoid salty foods, you might look a little bit tighter. But that's all I got.
You will, yeah.
But that's it. Nothing of massive shift is going to happen.
Yeah.
That person, I'm telling you, looked down on me after I gave them that feedback.
No.
Yes. I could feel it.
Why?
I could feel it because I didn't have the answers. Because I didn't have the answers that they were looking for. Now, again, maybe that's not actual feedback, but kind of. In a kind way, I essentially was pointing out the fact that they had very little awareness. And even that question... Why would
they look down on you? If anything, that's a respectful response. Like, that would build respect.
I know, but I don't think it does in everybody. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. Or the vibe I got. I haven't talked to this person in many years, but I don't know. That's my thesis. So that's real quick. That's the point of this episode, is whose feedback can you actually trust? Probably nobody's at 100%.
Yeah, this is obviously a blind spot of mine. I trusted feedback from people I shouldn't have, for sure. That's a huge, huge fucking problem in my life, definitely. I've gotten way better at that, though.
Nobody talks about this, though. Like, how do you know?
I mean, I was so naive. I was naive about what other people don't know. That.
Yeah.
For sure.
I always go to, is this person ahead of me? Is this person ahead of me?
Brother.
I know. To a degree that I can actually see. I don't know. I don't think I ever asked anybody for feedback in terms of like intangible things that I couldn't measure.
I would argue that I asked too many people for feedback and you asked too few. I had dozens of coaches and mentors.
What if I'm just way more accurate?
But I learned a lot through all that shit.
For sure.
I had to sift through a lot of feedback, and I had to sift through a lot of bullshit.
How much of it was you learned what not to do?
A lot.
Right.
That's valuable.
That's valuable.
There's definitely, it's very clear to me that you didn't ask for enough feedback. I mean, you could have learned finance. Everything I've taught you, you could have learned.
For sure.
Way long ago. The way you're spending right now, you absolutely could have learned that earlier.
But I don't know if it was a lack of me asking for it. I don't know if I knew what to ask.
Yeah, but you obviously didn't have people around you who, and again,
I definitely
you had good people around you, but you didn't have, my truth is you didn't have people around you that were trying to pour. Or they didn't have a lot to pour, like straight up. Like some people's parents, they do like doctor, lawyer, engineer, failure. And what I love about how you grew up is unconditional love. Be whatever you want to be. Mm-hmm. But there's a downside to that.
That comes with a downside.
It comes with a downside, which is like, be whatever you want to be. And we don't, we're going to love you either way. It's
I
like,
almost was whatever I wanted
clients
to
who had some toxic parents who like, listen, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. And they now they are, and they're very successful. And now that comes with its own shit. But they also were poured into.
Yeah.
Even though it was sort of maybe toxic at times, they were poured into and cared about in that way. So the pros and cons, and for the parents out there that need their kids to be a certain way for their own perception, like that's not what I'm condoning. But what I am saying is you got to take a fucking interest in guiding your children, right? And leadership. So I don't feel like you had strong leaders, not at all.
Oh, I definitely didn't. But
Look
I
at
also
what you're capable of when you got around a strong leader who actually gave a shit enough to say, "Hey, Kev, what the fuck, man?"
But I was also interested in it. I was interested in this stuff. I wasn't really that interested before.
Why not?
I didn't know the value of it. I didn't know that. Look, I had a bodybuilding coach. I got feedback all the time.
Yeah, but that wasn't until you were 25.
Yeah, but that's still...
What about the fucking 10 years before that? When you needed to learn some shit, man.
Well, look, 25 is better than 35.
I know, but by that rationale, it's like, well, 45 is better than fucking,
Well, it is. It is. I'm just saying statistically, it's like I do think I was ahead of the curve.
It depends who you're talking to. I mean, I've taught you things that I knew at 12.
Well, yeah,
but you didn't learn until 30.
You're an anomaly. You're an anomalous human.
But I learned it from asking questions and being curious and learning from heroes and learning from I just being a studier of life.
The fact that in high school, or was it high school, you were trying to prove the textbook wrong and the entire class laughed at you, that would have been the fucking end for me. I would have moved.
It was brutal.
I would have quit school that moment.
It was bad. You know what it was more than anything? It was Tara and Kiki. They were my best friends. I loved them so much, and they were so mean. That fucked me up.
That would have been it for me. I would have moved.
Yeah.
I would have said, Mom, I'm done with school.
Yeah,
I decided I'm done.
Now.
I don't need it.
And they would have been like, okay, where do you want to move, right? So
that's it.
I'm good.
No, but they would have said, get your ass to school. But
yeah,
I would have said, no, I can't, because everybody is mocking me and I can't handle it. No fucking chance.
Last piece. I know we got to jump here.
Yeah.
There's a book called Anti-Fragile by a guy named Nassim Taleb. I don't know him. I don't care. The book and the concept is powerful. Anti-fragile is the more you attack something, the stronger it gets. That is a concept. It's the opposite of being fragile. Fragile, we've all gotten a box that said fragile on it. It's like glass that broke or whatever. You become unbreakable. The whole class can laugh at me all they want, baby. I'm going to come back stronger and smarter every fucking time.
I wasn't ready for that. You're built different, son.
No choice.
Hashtag built different, son. Also, real quick, read a book. I don't remember what book this was in. This was in Upstream. There was...
That's Kevin when he's pumped in his memory.
Right? There was a bicycle company who was shipping very expensive, very high-quality bicycles. And they would get to people, and they would be just fucked. The box would be bent in half. It was just demolished. And they said, instead of like paying more for shipping, instead of any of that, we're just going to put fragile on the box, and we're going to shape it in the shape of a television. And the complaints went down by like 80%.
That's awesome.
It's only because you said fragile. That's pretty cool. I love stuff like that. I am such a geek for stuff like that. That's my favorite stuff in the world.
So the anti-fragile thing, though.
Yeah.
And the original point of this episode.
Feedback. Whose feedback can you actually trust?
And we're going to do an episode at some point about tough love. Yeah, I definitely was open to too much feedback, for sure. And if I could close that a bit, I let too many people pour, and a lot of it was distorted. A lot of it was wrong. I mean, in hindsight, I had an email out to someone, hey, should I get my MBA? Should I go to work first at like Intel or Microsoft or some tech company first and then go back and get my master's in business? Or should I go get my MBA right away? Why the fuck was I asking him? He doesn't have a fucking MBA.
Because that was the closest perspective of value you had.
I know. And it's like, damn, in hindsight, it's like, I shouldn't have been asking him. Damn. Yeah. But I didn't know.
Very rarely do we have any Mr. Feenies. Remember Boy Meets World? Remember that show?
Really. Yeah. Is it with Topanga or whatever?
Topanga, yeah. Shout out to Topanga. Shout out to Topanga,
yeah.
Shout out to Topanga.
The OG.
The OG crush. Yep. She's on Dancing with the Stars right now. She has taken really good care of herself. Shout out to Topanga.
Yeah.
They have a podcast. They have the Boy Meets World podcast. What a time to be alive. Mr. Feeney was the teacher that had all the wisdom. Fucking knew everything about everything. And you could go to him and he had a way of saying something in a certain way. It was like, my goodness, that just changed my life. Most of us don't have Mr. Feeney's.
I got one.
Who's
Mrs. Pryor.
Mrs. Pryor.
She helped a lot. She didn't know everything by any means, but
respect.
We used to argue all the time. We'd debate unconditional love, whether or not it exists. Two guesses which side I was on.
No, and I agree. I do agree.
I said if your husband woke up every day, slapped you in the face first thing in the morning,
right,
you wouldn't love him anymore. She's like, no, I'd still love him. I'm like, yeah, now. But if it was a decade long, like I was trying to, it was fun. I had a lot of good debates that were life existential debates. I needed to learn. I think we need to learn as kids. Like, you don't know shit when you're a kid. You got to learn. And
I agree.
Unfortunately, the adults act like they know everything. And holy shit, that's not true.
Well, all I'm saying is most of them are not Mr. Feeney's. That's it.
They're not. Definitely not.
That's it. And as you get older, you realize, like, again, I love my mom. Shout out to mom. Shout out to memes. I love you. And I also realized you didn't know that much at the time.
Nice.
You knew what you experienced, but beyond that, right? There wasn't necessarily a lot of constructive feedback. So
yeah.
This is one of those episodes where I don't know that we have an answer. Whose feedback can you actually trust? Maybe you test the waters, you take someone's feedback, you go live with it and see what happens. That's one. Somebody who has results that you desire, I think that's a strong direction to move in. I'm not saying you should take everything they say 100%. I don't have a good answer for this.
Seek data. Don't seek conclusions. Draw your own conclusions. Seek data. What that other person said of you weren't fully yourself, take that in as a data point. Kevin said it was a great interview. Take that in as a data point. Take in data. Just make sure you're getting it from multiple sources. It's like if a Tesla only had one camera versus 9, and you keep going to the camera that has the dark side of the moon or whatever, dark side of the street.
Dark side of the moon. You've been driving that thing out in space.
No.
Crazy times.
Dark side of the moon, I think, is from
Pink
Mulan.
Floyd. Oh, I think it's a Pink Floyd album, isn't it?
There's a Mulan song.
Oh.
They
stole that.
Side of the moon. People will recognize.
I've never seen
People will
Mulan.
recognize.
Go figure.
It's a jam.
Okay. All right.
As a kid, I liked it.
As a kid, you liked it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Next Level Nation. As an adult, if you like podcasting, nice transition there. We have the Next Level Podcast Accelerator starting on October 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Grow, scale, monetize your podcast through the awareness, habits, and strategies necessary to do so. I, at this point, believe that you can trust our feedback. We have done this thousands and thousands of times, and we have essentially dedicated our lives to getting better at this. So I can't help you fix your car. I have no clue what color you should paint your baby's wall. Not an idea. I won't even try to help on that, but I do know how to help you with your podcast. Alan knows how to help you with your business, and Amy knows how to help you with yourself, and that's what you're going to get from Next Level Podcast Accelerator.
Level up yourself. Level up your podcast. Level up your business. 9 other like-minded people. Promo code NLU listener. We've done this 19 times. 19 quarters in a row, coming up on 5 years now. Not doing this would be a mistake. It's $96 a month. It comes to less than $25 per call. If you're a podcaster, Kevin, I looked at your metrics recently, 3,470 something episodes. We live and breathe podcasting and business every single day. Every single day. Please join us. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. All right, as always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And if you are as committed as you say you are to getting to the next level, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we will be here every single day to help you get here.
Keep reaching for your full potential. Next Level Nation.